Emily Carter tightened her scarf against the cold wind as she stepped out of the dingy apartment complex she called home. The sky was gray, and the November air had a bite to it. Not quite winter, but a bitter promise of it. Her fingers trembled slightly in her coat pocket, where she clutched the last of her money. A crumpled $10 bill, her final safety net. She hadn't told anyone, not her sister in Wisconsin, not her landlord, certainly not her former co-workers who had scattered like dust after the cafe shut down 2 weeks ago. The closure had come suddenly, with barely a week's notice. She'd left that last shift carrying a few dollars in tips and a letter of recommendation, and not much else. Emily was 26, resourceful, and used to juggling 2 jobs. But this time things were different. The economy was tanking, rent was climbing, and job applications seemed to vanish into the void. She'd eaten a can of soup last night, skipping dinner to stretch out what little remained in her pantry. She'd planned to use that $10 today for train fare to a job fair downtown. It wasn't much, but there were whispers of a hotel chain hiring for front desk staff. It wasn't glamorous, but neither was starving. As she reached the platform at the station, she glanced at the time, 10:42 a.m. The train would be here any moment. She pressed the $10 bill into the vending machine to grab a small water bottle. As the machine beeped and whirred, a voice called out behind her, "Excuse me, miss?" Emily turned. A man in his mid-30s stood a few feet away, dressed in a worn jacket, jeans, and shoes that had seen better days. His brown hair was slightly unkempt, and a nervous smile played at his lips. I hate to do this," he said, "but I lost my wallet this morning. I'm trying to get to Yonkers. My mother's in the hospital. I just need $10 for a ticket. I'll find a way to pay you back, I promise." Emily hesitated. Her heart thudded. It was a familiar story. She'd heard variations of it a dozen times. The con, the scam, the emergency train ride, and it always ended the same. Money gone, no trace of the person. Still, there was something about him, not the desperation, anyone could fake that, but the eyes. He looked like someone who wasn't used to asking for help, someone humiliated to be in that position. Emily looked down at the crumpled bill in her hand. Her train was arriving. The doors were opening. She sighed, then stepped forward and placed the $10 bill in the man's hand. "Here, get to your mom," she said. His eyes widened. "Are you serious?" She nodded, smiling faintly. "Don't make me regret it." He nodded quickly, as if overwhelmed. "Thank you. You have no idea. Thank you." She turned and walked toward the train. She'd have to walk to the job fair, or maybe skip it. She wasn't even sure what the point was anymore. That night, Emily sat on the floor of her apartment, eating dry cereal with no milk, listening to the groan of pipes through the thin walls. Her phone buzzed with a reminder, rent due tomorrow, $680. She sighed and silenced it. There were no new emails, no job offers, just more quiet. Her generosity hadn't brought her anything but hunger. Maybe kindness wasn't worth it anymore. Days passed. No word from any job. Her phone bill bounced. The eviction notice came closer. Emily pawned her old necklace, her grandmother's, but it barely covered groceries for the week. She didn't think of the man again, or at least she tried not to. When she did, she felt foolish. A week later, Emily was at the train station again, this time walking to a library downtown for free Wi-Fi. She had almost nothing left emotionally or physically. She passed the ticket machines when someone stepped in front of her, a tall man in a crisp navy coat, clean-shaven, with striking green eyes. "Emily Carter?" he asked. She blinked. "Yes?" "It's me," he said with a warm smile. "James, you gave me $10 last week." Her eyes widened in disbelief. He looked different, sharp, professional, wealthy even. His shoes shined, his watch gleamed. I don't understand," she said. James laughed gently. "I didn't lie. I really did need $10, but I wasn't exactly broke. I was testing something, an experiment." Emily raised an eyebrow. "What kind of experiment?" He took a deep breath. "I'm James Holloway," he said. "I co-founded a tech company called Veritech. Maybe you've heard of it." Her jaw dropped. She had heard of it. It had been Forbes last year. Veritech had sold for over $400 million. "I've been undercover the past month," James continued. "I wanted to see if kindness still exists, if people would help someone without knowing anything in return. Most didn't. But you did. You gave me your last $10. I know it was your last, believe it or not, I checked." Her face flushed. "I didn't expect anything back. I just thought if it were me, I'd want someone to help." He smiled. "And that's exactly the kind of person I want on my team." "What do you mean?" "I run a foundation, the Holloway Trust. We help people like you, working-class heroes who slip through the cracks. I want to offer you a job, a real one. Salary, benefits, training. You'd help oversee our community outreach programs." Emily stared at him, stunned. I don't know what to say." "Say yes," he said simply. Tears welled up in her eyes. "Yes." 3 months later, Emily walked through the doors of the Holloway Trust headquarters in Midtown, wearing a smart blazer and heels. She held a latte in one hand and a laptop bag in the other. Her apartment had changed. New place, small but warm. Her fridge was full. She called her sister every weekend now. And best of all, she was in charge of launching a new program to provide micro-grants to women who'd lost jobs due to the pandemic. Every time she signed a check, she thought of that $10 bill. Every time someone asked how she got the job, she said, "I gave my last $10 to a stranger at a train station." And they'd laugh, not believing her. But she knew.